Lord of Omens, give me sight beyond sight. Beyond sight. Beyond sight.
Like this.
What's up? What's up? It's Sight Beyond Sight, everybody, and we're here with another episode. And today we're going to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi and Stranger Things. This week was a big-ass week of good TV.
Yo, it's crazy because, like, I binged, what is that? That's like 9 hours worth of TV. Like,
Yeah.
I was brain dead for like half of the Friday night after. Like, because I was like, I don't know what to watch or do. Like, I was just there, like,
I didn't want to see how many, because I know, like, Stranger Things is split. So I was just like, I don't even want to see how many episodes. I just want to keep playing it. And then I noticed, like, all right, let me just see. Like, I just like, all right, forget it. Let me just see how many episodes I got. And it was 7. And then it was like, they're all an hour long and like an hour and a half. I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. I was just like, I almost finished it yesterday, but I ended up just like passing out. And then I was like, all right, this morning I was just like, let me finish the last 2. But
like, I finished it at a decent time when I watched it because I started it at like, I woke up around like 4:20ish in the morning because I work like for my overnight schedule. Like, my body sleeps weird, so freaking. I woke up and I was like, F it, like, I'm gonna start watching. So, smoking, watching it, and I was good. I think I got it to like episode 5, and I started like nodding off a little bit, like I was starting to get tired again. So like, I took like a quick half-hour nap, and then I woke up and I watched the rest of it and finished it. Like, cause I was just already too invested. I was like, I want to finish it because I was like, the shit just keeps getting better. Like, each episode, like, shit was crazy.
There's gonna be spoilers, so anybody that's watching, cover your ears or don't watch it because it's all spoilers.
Just gotta give up right now.
But a quick run through. Basically, this season seems to be about. It's a little different from the other ones, and it's basically you got the big bad that was in the trailer. That little, what I'll tell you what I think about him, like what characters they mix him with, but he's basically, like an 11, like the number 1, I guess. Spoiler. That's a big ass spoiler.
Ultraman. I kind of had a feeling though, man. I had that feeling.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling. I was back and forth, but basically he's trying to open the portals and get revenge on 11, who doesn't have powers anymore, and he's going through people's minds and showing them the trauma they've been through, and then he like sucks in their eyes and breaks their arms and legs. Very gruesome, very cool. And I thought it was like a different, because I felt like seasons 1, 2, and 3 were very similar to each other.
They were.
Like the same basic concept. This one, I think they heard the outcry and they need to switch it. So I was just like, man, it's, to me, I was just watching it like, all right. And I think episode 1 and 2, since I think episode 1 was mainly in the school, and I was just like, damn, the whole episode is in the school. Like, you're not doing anything else. Not that it wasn't enjoyable, but I was just like, you're spending a lot of time in the school. And then the second episode, it was like the same thing, but somewhere else. But then it was all good. I liked every episode.
Yeah, I like. There was some like scenes stood out for me.
Yeah,
like we'll get to it when we start going through the episodes and shit. But like that, like I'll say, like yesterday after watching all of it, right before I went to sleep, I went right to like the first like episode that was like I fucked with this episode from like beginning to end, like action, everything about it was like one of my favorite ones that really stood out heavy. But I think that's one of the best things, like how you said, like because the main bad guy, it was definitely a similar one for the first 3 because of the whole concept with the mind flare and everything. Like, even though you could kind of say, well, yeah, because the Demogorgon and then the Demodogs in the second one. So yeah, they were all almost similar. This guy really is the most. Damn, I really like this season because of that fact too.
Yeah.
it's like I, being a fan of the bad guy shit was like, this is a cooler one because now you could see him, and I like the way, like, when we start breaking him down more, like how his character is. I think it's cool, but I felt like the best thing that they did was like they found a way to make it make sense with how old they got, because that was the only thing that was like the time jump was definitely there.
Yeah,
Like
for
you
every
could
1 year, they look like they're 5 years
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Like
The
because they
old,
this
old
they
people.
yeah, they said it on one of the episodes. It was like last year we did whatever. And I'm looking like, yo, y'all look like y'all aged like 5 years since
Yeah,
like that all happened.
that's
But besides that, like I really don't think I have a lot of bad things to say about it. Like
me
I
neither.
think that was pretty much it. It was like, all right, they're just a lot older. But after that, it was just like, nah, this is like Stranger Things formula with a few new things, and I like the way it's just rocking. Like honestly,
Yeah, I already from the get go before I saw the guy that we're gonna talk about in episode 4, because I
yeah,
think that's your favorite episode.
yeah, that's my favorite. Episode 4 is fire.
But
There's so much greatness in episode 4.
yeah, there really was. But right away, I was seeming like, wow, this is very Nightmare on Elm Street. So
Yeah.
I was just like, holy crap! I was just going like the visuals were, and then I was just like, I think it was it was the girl, it was the first girl that died, and I was looking at the stuff, and when she was going crazy in the guy's trailer, I was
Yeah.
just like, yo, what the fuck's going on? And then it was just, to me, it was just like, all right, I want to know where this is going. And then every time they showed Elle's past with the main bad guy, I was just like, he has an evil face. He's just one of those guys, like, something's going on with him. He's not a good guy. He's evil.
Like he
Right
just
away.
literally manipulating just for the hell of it.
Yeah. But that was shit. I think I gotta rewatch. I gotta rewatch some, but I think episode 4 might be my favorite also,
Mm.
because I felt like in that episode there was so much going on. But I just
There's a,
like, I'm trying to put my finger on it, like what
there's like
made
little
it
things in
stand
there
out.
that gave me like favorite things that remind me of like old shit that I like. Like I love the way that episode ended and the way the episode was built through the end with Max. And I don't remember how to say the villain's name right now. So with the villain, whatever, because like it definitely gave me the Freddy vibes with the female character
Yeah.
and him. Like there was actually like I laughed to myself, and yeah, I do talk to myself that when she got away, like I wanted him right there, he fixed his neck to be like, bitch.
Yeah.
I was like, if he would have did that, I would have been done.
No, that would have been hilarious.
But like but like between that, like the music, obviously because of the 80s music, like it just
Yeah.
gave me that Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 energy. Like
Yeah.
if you really remember like 4 like the music, it's a good one of the main reasons why 4 is so good, because it's a lighter, but the music works with it. Like the way they did the symphony for this shit is fire.
Yeah.
And I just like they just built it up, and then all right, let me get away. Let's just go right to the beginning, because we gotta
Yeah.
give my favorite character props right now.
All right,
That
hold on.
man
Do you
with
want to
the
go? Do you want
mustache.
to go episode by episode?
All right, we could go episode by
All
episode,
right,
because I
let's
got to
go.
talk about the beginning of episode 4,
Okay.
because I want to give the guy his credit, because he deserves his flowers. I mean,
All right. Go ahead, do it.
all right. So what we gonna? Oh, all right. So we're doing episode 1. So all right. Well, you seen how they started the shit with the aspect of they were in the Hawkins lab,
Yeah.
and they show what was L killing and escaping the lab. We go there, trying to remember exactly how we go. We go from there. Then they go They go to the high school, and then they start breaking down everything through the high school.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, I can't.
everyone.
Episode 1 was the hardest one. Is the hardest one for me to really remember.
Well, to break it down just quickly, it does
Yeah.
start off like that, and it's kind of sad that they had to put up that little warning in the beginning.
Yeah,
That
that's
we
why I
talked
think it
about.
fucked me up because of that. Like,
And they have a little warning on there saying like, we made this a year ago, so this is before the thing that happened in Texas. So if you see kids dying, like, be warned, kind of thing.
yeah,
So
because that was pretty much what. Because it did definitely feel a little weird seeing it.
yeah. So it was basically like the past, what happened. Like what you're getting in the season is like you're getting a lot of people's past and I guess the origin stories. So they're showing somewhat of Elle's origin story. I'll tell you what I think about it later, but I really
All
thought
right.
that she was going to be like a Carrie kind of character because it made it seem like she killed all those kids and escaped.
Yeah.
Then it goes there to the high school. You see how everyone is like, I can't remember names, but the black kid's trying to be Mr. Popular. He's basketball, of course.
That's
The
there we
basketball
go.
guy.
Now it's functioning back in my head. Boom.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
the redheaded girl, since her brother died, she's like the outsider by herself. She doesn't want to be bothered. Um, the funny one, and then the nerdy one. They're part of this group called the Hellfire Club. Shout out to the X-Men, and they're like a Dungeons and Dragons club. And then the black guy is part of it, but he's trying to be popular. So you have that like kid dynamic where he wants to separate and like be popular, and his friends still want to be nerds and shit. And then you go to L and the other guy, and the other guy kind of looks like nerdy, kind of flamboyant. I thought he was going to be like a gay character, the way he was looking at.
The main kid from the trailer park.
No, the L's like stepbrother.
The stepbrother as well.
Will, I
yeah,
think his
yeah.
name is.
Yeah.
He looked at. I thought they were gonna make him gay because he was just seemed super flamboyant the way
I thought they were too. The way they
guy.
started it. Yeah.
Yeah, but Elle has no powers, and then she gets bullied, and she's upset and crying, and she just wants to see her boyfriend, and I guess they visit each other every once in a while. So basically, you could break down more of that. So you could
so go through that. Well, they showed a part where because we're gonna go through the aspects of the show that made it good. So now where Lucas is trying to become popular, they showed him in the gym at the pep rally, and they introduced another new character who's a main character for the season of the story. Is I guess you could call him the captain of the basketball team, and he dates the popular cheerleader girl. Like that's basically how they introduced them to and to go into the killer.
Yeah.
So he's there, and you can already tell, and like I was saying it, like that person that he just had control of the town when he was doing like his little speech.
Yeah.
That's how I already knew like he was gonna be one of those characters, like that person that went over the top later on in the season.
Yeah.
Type shit. So they do all of that. They get him in there. Then they introduce the kid, kind of looks like Howard Stern, like a young Howard Stern. Like,
yeah.
Like that's how I kind of looked at it. I was like, he kind of reminds me of Howard Stern from Private Parts. Like, so they introduced him, and he's the, I guess you want to call him the super nerdy, awkward kid that was the leader of the Hellfire aspect of the.
Yeah,
Hellfire.
he was like because this is taking place in the 80s, so
yeah,
he was part nerd but part rocker.
Yeah,
before rockers were cool, so they were the outsiders, but he was a nerd. Yeah,
and they did him actually pretty interesting because in that episode, like they build him up as like he's rebellious against all the popularity of people and like being the outcast. But then later on, you see him, he's talking with the cheerleader, the main popular girl, and he's selling her weed, and he could get her different drugs and shit. And he shows a different side of himself talking to her, and it actually makes you go now wondering like, who is he? Like, which made it cool, like, because you didn't know, like, oh, was he the freaking geeks nerd that's like the main cast, or was he something else? So now they go through the whole thing. Basically, long story short, the end of that season, Max goes home. Max is in a trailer park with where the same kid where that kid lives. The kid ends up going to the trailer park with the cheerleader. She ends up getting killed by the demon monster thingy, whatever the hell you want to call it.
I think it's like Vent, something with a V.
I know, I can't remember how to. I was like, damn, out of all the seasons, this is the hardest one to remember the name. Because it's a V. I can't remember shit with V's. Like V from Vendetta fucking ruined my life.
It's a short ass name, but we can remember Demogorgon.
Demogorgon. Awesome. Listen, I still want a Demogorgon. Like
shit.
But freaking they do all of that. Then we go into season 2 now. We're season 2.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. My fault. Episode 2. Where now they go into it where the kid is on the run because everybody thinks
the girl,
that he killed the girl. So now with him on the run, the boyfriend finds out. He makes his own little group of people to go look for the kid with Lucas, with with Lucas as part of it.
Lucas is his name. Yeah.
Yeah. So now Lucas is part of the group going to look for them, and within that, wait, how did they? I think because Maxine seen what happened or heard kind of had that
Yeah.
feeling from what happened,
You're
and then
good
she
with names
tells,
because I forgot all
yeah,
of them. So Max,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm good with character, and I think I watch wrestling and shit.
Max goes and finds
Yeah,
Dustin, right? First.
she finds Dustin, and then she tells Dustin because they go into their whole like little Hellfire Club argument thing that they were having, and
Yeah.
then she tells him, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And then they go from there, and I think he goes. Does he go get Nancy? I think they go get Nancy. Like I forgot how they go about how they get everybody, but basically they get together. Nancy, Steven,
Well, yeah. They remember
and then
Dustin and Max
yeah,
go to the video store, and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
where
they
they meet
get
up them because
yeah,
they're
because
trying
that's
to
where they make the
find
headquarters.
names.
Yeah,
Yeah. Dustin's like the brains behind everything in the season, which is funny to me.
yeah, but his cerebro and shit.
Yeah.
Like freaking. But yeah, they do all of that shit. Like it's gonna be hard as hell to break down all these goddamn episodes. I only watched it like once.
Well, we missed something in the first episode. At the end,
Yeah.
Lucas has a basketball game the same day that they're ending
Oh
their
yeah, yeah,
D.
yeah.
So they invite Lucas's sister, which I think she's always funny because she wants to be like. It seems like she's cool, but she's like, I'm down with the nerdy stuff.
Yeah, she's like Lucas in a different way.
Yeah.
Like
So Lucas is upset that he won. He actually won for his team, even though he was benched the whole year. And then the whole team and him go out and party. That's where all the bad stuff happens. And
yeah,
but Lucas is with his team, and then the other two are whatever. But see, episode 2, yeah, you said Max, like you said, figures it out. Goes to Dustin. Dustin goes to Steve and the other girl at the video store, and then tells them what happened. And then they find. Yeah, then they find Nancy, because Nancy like a reporter.
Nancy's the
now.
last one they get. Yeah, they go get Nancy last.
Yeah,
Because then after that, that's when because they got Nancy last, then they go to L and all of the stuff that was happening with them.
actually before, because now they don't get Nancy until episode 3 because Nancy's with his her reporter friend.
Oh yeah, before he died.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Nancy goes with the reporter friend to go check out the house where the trailer where the girl died in episode 1.
Yeah.
And then the monster goes after the reporter friend and ends up killing him in the middle of the street. So now the town thinks that they got a serial killer, and that's the episode 3 is when they find Nancy and do all that stuff.
Exactly. That's pretty much basically how that already happened. Because they find her.
They find her. They all figure out what's going on. So now they're trying to get more information on the serial killer back in the day that they said stole people's eyes and basically killed the people as if they were how they're getting killed now. So they're doing all this research. Meanwhile, there's a second story through the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Lydia from Beetlejuice, she gets a doll. She gets a doll from Russia and saying that Hellboy is still alive. I can't remember her name. Harper. So this is the because there's like basically 2 stories going on through the whole season. So back in the original town, you got Lydia. No, not the original town. Wow, there's a California. In California, where Lydia moved with Elle and all that stuff. Now they're saying that what do you call it? She calls the funny guy. They find out that somebody's that Harper's still alive in Russia. They want him to bring money, and they're going to do that. So they got to meet up with a guy in Alaska and give him $40,000, and he's supposed to bring him to Harper and bring him back home safely. Obviously, it doesn't go as planned, and then, but those are a mix of a few episodes. At the same time, I think in episode 2 or 3, when Elle's boyfriend comes to see her, she gets embarrassed at the roller skating rink,
Yeah.
get some shit dumped on her, and she got gangster since she doesn't have powers now, and she took skates and busted this girl that was bullying her in the face and cracked
You have
her head
anger
open, which is
issues.
hilarious.
That's what
So
it is.
I was thinking, like, I would have looked at her like, "Yo, good job," you right in the middle of the forehead.
Exactly. I was like, nah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, she was bullying you. Fuck that.
Yeah, true.
Oh
That,
shit.
but see, the funny thing about that side of the story, like, it's nothing like that is bad, but it's like that side. I guess maybe because it's dealing with less of the upside down aspect, unless you're watching the 11 part of it. It's not. I guess maybe wasn't as entertaining until you get like. I mean, there was some good parts. Like I like the like because now you got me thinking Lydia from freaking Beetlejuice. But you put her like that. All of that was fun. Like with the going to
Yeah,
Russia and all of that. Like I
yeah,
liked
yeah.
all of that.
And the guy with the
But
karate.
yeah, like that was cool. Like, but like I could say, like the Will and like his brother and all of that, they're boring. Like I ain't gonna lie, they were the boring parts.
They
They were
were
probably
boring.
the boring parts.
It was funny to see Dustin's girlfriend,
Oh
but
no, I like
but they
her.
were,
Yeah,
but it was
yeah,
boring. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah.
There's not much going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
They were the
hoping that
like.
Will should have powers by now.
Well, yeah, there has to be something more with Will. Like, I mean, I know they're gonna do something with that picture that he's painting. It's
Mm,
probably gonna be when he dies at the freaking like one of the next episodes when it comes out. Because he's probably gonna he has to be the one to die. I mean, he's the weakest one. Like
he always
he's been
gets
through
fucked
mad
with.
shit.
He died in the first season supposedly, and then he comes back. He gets fucked with in season 2. Like
He's
he
too
should have powers
emotionally
by now.
he's too emotionally weak. Like you can't kill Dustin because he's too smart and funny and he's probably the favorite character of everybody in the aspect. Like
Yeah.
who doesn't like Dustin? Like honestly.
And who
And
doesn't like his
then
girlfriend? She's well,
yeah, she's awesome
season
too.
3. I like how they were just
Like
like,
she,
"Oh yeah, let's go after her," and then they started singing the the
yeah.
stupid halfway guy. It's just like, I love that movie, bro. But no, I do agree that storyline is kind of dull because they're not doing anything.
Mhm.
But I feel like they're gonna bring back Lydia and everybody else. They're gonna find a way to bring them back. So I
But
think
yeah,
that
they're all gonna get them together. Like, well, from what I know is what an hour and a half, and then the last episode is supposed to be like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. The last
because
episode,
there's only 2 more episodes,
two
right?
more left. Yeah, only two left.
Why do we gotta
So yeah,
wait? Just fucking throw it down. Like, that's so
so
stupid.
because I guess whatever happened with the whole like because they delayed it and shit, like
Fuck that.
they yeah, that's why they pushed it all together and made it into one thing. Like they're just like an
Nah.
extravagant because they did the same thing with that. I've never watched it, and I might one day that the Ozark or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
They did that with that too. Like the final season, they broke it in two halves.
You know why they do that though? Because they
For
want to get rid
views.
of binge streaming.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they feel like once you binge it, like we would have been done with Stranger Things this today
mm.
if they're not going to put out another 2 episodes in July. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
just kind of like they want something to keep talking about. Because I think now, like, that's why they're following like Disney Plus, basically. They're saying like Disney
mm.
Plus, like, no, we're not going to binge. We're going to give you one every episode, so you have to keep coming back.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
better that way. Like I respect the
Not all the
binge.
time. Not all the time.
Nah, I respect the binge only for Stranger Things because that's how I've been watching it. But I'm more of a fan of waiting because I like the anticipation because I get bored. Now I don't have nothing to watch.
Yes,
Like,
yes, I agree with that because I'm
yeah,
very upset now because I was just like, damn, I just want the last 2 so I could see it.
pretty
At
much.
least feel satisfied.
Yeah.
But
It's
no,
nothing like watching freaking like a show like when it's on like type shit like oh I could just chill and watch it and then wait like oh next Monday is on like the show We Own This Town. I don't know if you started watching it,
I haven't started watching it.
but like that's on like every Monday. So like after wrestling whatever, like all right cool now I have a show that's another hour that I can watch right before I go to sleep and like it's a good show, but it's only like 6 episodes and then it's done. But it is what it is. But back to the Stranger Things shit. Like, so let's see. All right, so now we go to episode 3. We're gonna give a a summary of episode 3, right? Because a lot easier to break it down. In episode 3, they find out that Max is cursed. They find out that basically there's more to the monster than they knew.
Mhm.
In an aspect, like they have an idea, like there's a rumor of a person killing people in that aspect, like a serial killer.
Yeah.
So they're still trying to be skeptic that it's not the upside down aspect. So that's what they're trying to push in this episode, more or less, in the episode 3. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that maybe that was stood
Well,
out.
Just to explain the curse for anyone that didn't watch it, what they're
Yeah.
calling a curse is like when the monster goes in your mind, you start like rolling your eyes back, or you start seeing like your traumatic things, and they
Mhm.
call it like your curse because after a certain amount of time, that's when it makes you it basically breaks your bones and takes your eyes, kind of thing, and it kills you. So they're
Yeah.
saying that she's cursed because she's starting to see stuff, and they're trying to save her in the meantime.
So you want to give the breakdown of the villain now, so the curse can make more sense, or you want to do it after we run through the rest of the episodes?
We could do
Because
it.
we can run through the episodes quick. Like I don't want to sit and talk about each episode breakdown. Down. I just want to
So then let's
hit
just run
key
through it.
points.
'Cause episode 4 is the best one.
All
And
right.
it-
So
there's
now
a-
we go episode 4, where now we start off at, I guess you want to say, Will's house or Eleven's house, and they're already. Oh, this is what happened in episode 3. What happens on the outside? The Hopkins lab people, they come and they find Elle, and they convince her to come back because they could give her powers back to help save the world.
Yes, she got
So-
arrested for busting the girl's face in I think episode
Yeah.
2. So she
Yeah,
got arrested, and then the government people saved her.
So they get her out and stuff. So, the whole government's the aspect where people are trying to catch her, and then there's people using her, I guess you could say, more than trying to help her.
Yeah, they want to give her powers back.
Yeah, so they're doing that. So this is why we're going to jump to 4, because I want to talk about this opening scene so much. Will's house, they start off the scene, they ordered pizza. They're trying to escape. So they're trying to get away. So they're in the house and they're thinking, okay, the pizza man's here. They have a door knock. One of the cops that are there watching the kids goes to open the door. Bang, bang, Terminator style. Just shoots homie right there as soon as the door opens. This is probably the illest shit I ever seen in my life.
So did I.
I've never seen one cop with a Glock handle multiple people with semi-automatics with no problem.
Yes, it was fucking amazing.
I was like, yo, this is fire. I don't even understand why. And he was there with confidence, like, yo, come on, go.
Yeah. When I shoot, you run. I was like, holy shit.
Like, son, I was having a panic attack, like, yo, there's multiple people with semi-autos coming through. Like,
Yeah, I'm about to rewatch
You
that
have
after
to-
this shit.
like
Because
you
that
have
shit was
a-
so dope. Because it really was like pop pop, and the guy just got up and he was just like, stay there, pop 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 pop.
like, you just have a handgun, my guy. Like, he was just taking everybody out. They were
And you
just
know
coming
funny?
through like,
It was funny because I was watching with somebody and they're about to say like something about like them never running out of ammo, and then you see him
And then-
just load up. They're like, "Oh, he loaded up." I was like, "Yeah." It was just like pop, cheek, pop, 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 pop. Oh,
basically,
that was such a great thing.
that's what make that shit so fire.
Yeah, and that was just I think that was like you said the opening. So
Yeah, that opening was crazy.
episode 4
That-
was crazy.
it just started that episode with just mad shit. Because even like when they go back to the school and they hear the noise, and then what's his name? Luke, they run into Lucas because he ran from the kids, whatever, back to the school to meet up with Dustin and them.
The drop
It was
squad.
just mad funny because he was like, I just ran 8 miles. I was like, nigga, you run 8 miles. I was like, that's adrenaline. Hey, that shit is mad funny, but nah. So going through that episode, we get to like how you were saying. Now Max is cursed, whatever. So Max is going through that episode basically now, doing her last goodbyes. So she's writing letters to people, leaving and shit. So they go to her house. She leaves a letter for her mom and her family members there, and she ends up running into the villain again. and he's a very sadistic asshole. He kind of gives you that Freddy It vibe where he plays
Yeah.
with your emotions,
Yeah.
and I love it.
Yeah.
Like, so he gets her there, and she's even more messed up. So now they take her to the cemetery, and she's there, and she starts to read her letter to Billy because she's saying bye to her brother. And then this is probably the ultimate, like those two characters together,
Yeah.
because it was like as she's saying bye, he just comes right in,
Yeah.
like, and I thought that was great, like the way he just comes in as Billy and he's talking to her, like it literally was those movies,
Yeah.
and I think that's what made that whole thing, like the way the running, the build, like I think the red smoke, another callback to those great movies of just the visual of like that extra part in the different world. It was
Yeah.
just fucking fire, like everything. Even that song, I don't even know what song it is that she was running to, but that scene was just dramatic as hell because of that damn song. And I've
Yeah.
never heard that song before in my life. Like,
Shit. Yeah, that was a good scene too because to me, like I said, I felt like it was a very uh Friday the 13th, not Friday. Wow, Nightmare on Elm Street. But
yeah.
what I also got from his character, he seems a little pinheadish, minus the
Oh yeah.
sex. But
Yeah,
it
the
was
way he.
just like
Mhm.
I don't know. There's something about him where I was just like, yeah. I was like, all right, you got a little pinhead in there. You did have the it scene with the mom because I was
Mhm.
very reminiscent. And then it was just like, and then you, of course, with the mind play and all that, I was just like, man, they did a good job this season. Now it makes me, because I thought, like, all right, this is going to be the last season. But now I was just like, no, now you got a villain. Now you got to make this more. Like, this
Yeah,
is fucking awesome.
they definitely have him. But the way that ends, like that last episode, he's a villain, but somebody got to kill him. Like, and the way they built it up, it was like that's what they were trying to build. Like the person she's gonna turn like Super Saiyan on this nigga.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
so freaking, man. So then we go to 5. Wait. Actually, no,
No,
we
no,
gotta
no.
still talk about 4. There's
Yeah,
still more in 4. That was awesome. So there's a part where they go to an insane asylum to go meet up with the guy who was accused of killing his family in the vicious, brutal ways. I can't remember his name. So they basically get there and they get to the prison cell and the guy's scratching and they're talking to him. And when they do the big reveal of who the guy is, who else would it be but the fucking 80s legend himself,
yeah,
Robert England. Like, and it was just like, this is why this show was amazing. Like you keep giving us 80s love, and like for the fans, like the people that love this show honestly love the 80s horror movies, love a lot of 80s
yeah,
shit. So it's like, yo, that's one of the biggest things you could really throw out there face wise, because you can't throw like the Jason or Michael Myers, like, because they don't have no face. They don't have, like, like we know
yeah,
Robert England's face.
yeah.
Like his face is Freddy. Like
I
honestly,
told,
like
I knew it from the silhouette, from
okay,
the side of his face. I was like, that's Freddy Krueger. I was just like, there you go.
yeah, man. But that's what makes it freaking awesome is like that they actually put him in there, because I was like, that's what's up, because at least they acknowledging that they are using a lot of what his character was that made him famous
Yeah.
in the show to make like everything what it is.
Minus the shit talking. That's the only
Oh
thing they
yeah,
didn't do. Yeah.
but his shit talking is a very different aspect. Like, because I definitely was gonna get kick out of him going like Max, like the way he just kept saying Max. Like I
Yeah.
was like, yes, like I like that nice little creepy aspect.
Well,
Like his
wasn't the girl in Nightmare on Elm Street Nancy?
Nancy, yeah, Nancy's the first girl, yeah.
So once she was in the Upside Down in the next few episodes,
Mm.
when he kept going Nancy, and I was just like,
Yeah,
that's fucking awesome. I
yeah,
was just like,
yeah.
this is Robert England.
It's just freaking amazing. Like, because all right, so what was it's in one of those 2 episodes that because they show the house, because he has his house, obviously, another
They, all right.
decade. So,
To
but
break it
he
down,
does the thing. What?
yeah, good.
No, I was gonna say when he does the cerebral shit, because I forgot to talk about that. When he gets connected to everything, and then you see him going through that. That's the
Yeah.
one shit that I was trying to figure out fully because like I was like, what is he really listening for? Because like he went into this kid's head, the next person that he kills, the from the basketball team, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I didn't hear him have voices in his head or anything. Like he was quiet and he just went in there.
Yeah, but I think Lucas said that he did have trauma.
Ah,
Because
okay.
I think when they were talking about him, like I think he's possessed now. Or after he died, he was just like, yeah, he
They
told me that he had a issue or something. So
I
I
probably got like
think
yeah.
so.
Nah, I'm
It's
trying to because it was the what you call I think he got like abused by his parents or some shit like that. He was saying,
something like that. Yeah, Lucas said something along those lines. But you can't forget in this episode, uh, Robert England's character is he's supposedly the guy, the serial killer that everyone thinks he is.
Mhm.
He chopped his own eyes out, which is kind of
Oh
cool.
yeah.
But he tells like a little bit of backstory. He thought his house was possessed by a demon or something, and
Yeah.
then that kind of goes to what they were playing at in the previous episodes because they're saying that the cool nerdy kid that they're looking for, he was part of the Hellfire Club, which is like the D&D club, and
Mm.
saying like, oh, he's possessed by a demon or he's cursing us or something like that. He's using
Mm.
witchcraft, but that was a very late 80s, early 90s thing when that was like a thing, when
Mm.
being in a cult was a thing. But yeah.
Damn witchcraft. That's what I thought it was first. Like I ain't gonna lie. I was like, well, I'll just take over a person's house. like, I'll be so mad if I just move and it's just like, damn man, I get all this bad luck.
Yeah.
like
Fuck, man.
shit. But all right, so you know what? Because 5 and 6 is just mad shit. Put it like this: there's a Demogorgon in there. Hopper fights the damn thing. There's good action, great comedy, a lot of good shit. But I want to get to basically 7, and I want to talk more about 11 because that's a lot more detailed into the what made the
Yeah.
show good. So, how you want to do it? You want to go like we talk about what happens at Hopkins Lab? You want to talk about the dude? Like
I just
how
do
you?
a quick run.
Because I know you have your opinion, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
go for you. Yeah.
We'll go to 7, but basically what happens in the next episodes, like he said, it was action. Um, Lydia goes to Russia. She gets messed over by the guy. Then stuff happens. They go find Harper. Harper is gonna about to fight a Demigorgon because that's the Russians have one, and they just all the prisoners that they don't want anymore or whatever, or they just feed them to it basically. So you get that kind of fight, and then what else happened? Um, the other black
Oh,
kid from the basketball
yeah.
people die. Like the whole jock group find the nerdy leader, and they one of the basketball players dies, and the main jock sees it, and that's when he calls witchcraft, and he tries to do like a witch hunt basically. He gets the whole town doing a witch hunt, and Dustin's helping his friend out. That's the leader of the people, and
The Hellfire.
yeah. So basically, that's really it. They go to Dustin's girlfriend's house to help him with the Russian code,
Yeah.
and that was kind of like a little funny scene. But they didn't. Again, that storyline really isn't much with them. But you could go
Nah,
to episode 7 now, which is the last episode now. But we get 2 more in July. So
amazing. But it's the last episode. I'm trying to remember if episode 7 started with it or not. Like, yeah, they had to be in the Upside Down when episode 7 started. But Nancy and
oh, all right. So
yeah.
in episode 6, damn. So they're trying to find these. There's Dustin finds out that they have that there's other gates to the Upside Down, and they find one underwater, and uh, the leader of the Hellfire Club goes. Nancy, the other girl from the last season, and what's the guy from the first season that
Who?
Justin's friends with?
What
The
the? Oh, Steve or whatever his name. I think his name
Steve.
is Steve. Yeah.
So Steve gets sucked into the Upside Down. They have a cool fight scene with the bats and shit like that, but
Yeah, nah, it
That's
was
why
funny.
they're in up and down, upside down.
The funny shit was like when they because like he gets caught whatever, like they have the bats or whatever, and when Nancy saves him and it hits him with the thing, I was like they already hit the superhero pose for her, and then they let
Yeah,
everybody just go after that. But I was like,
yeah,
that's their way of like trying to push her. Like, yeah, all right, you're gonna go be a star after this anyway.
yeah. Yeah, they
But
really
yeah, that
did.
was a cool little thing. Yeah, but oh man, I'm trying because I really want to like get into the whole like L shit, like and how her background story works
Okay.
because her background story is interesting because we already kind of had the idea of it, but
Mhm.
then now they show a little bit more, like they're showing like that she was the weaker one, and then like they explained a lot more. If I
Yeah,
felt like
yeah, they did. They
so,
did.
I don't know, like, freaking. I know you said you had shit that you wanted to say about it.
Well, not about that. I want to talk more about the villain. I basically said everything I need to say about like the villain because he did look like a villain from the get go, and the villain, what you find out because they go into Elle's past, and she's trying to get her powers back. So I guess they're explaining like the way she gets her powers back is to think of a I guess it's almost like they're showing her her past, so they're showing her her training. Then they show you that there's this I guess nurse guy that was actually giving her secrets to make her stronger and better when she was younger. And um the first episode where we talk about where it looks like she killed everybody, you find out later like no, that didn't happen like that. So when you go talk about her past, they talk about how she got bullied in that situation with all the other um, superpowered kids, and then she was learning to be one of or the strongest. And you see the guy that was helping her tried to help her escape. He had a tracker. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on.
that's what that was one of the things that threw me off for a second because when I seen like she ripped the tracker out of his neck,
Mhm.
I was like, all right, maybe he was just somebody that was like a prisoner in there. Like
Yeah,
that threw me off. Like I was like, all right, maybe he don't have powers. Like if he had powers, he would have just did it himself. You know?
that's what I was thinking too. Like, why wouldn't he do it
Yeah.
himself? But maybe it keeps her from. I
But
don't
that's
know.
what I think the tracker, yeah, probably kept him from using it because once they ripped it out, then they go there and that's when he goes like, you
Super
don't have to be
Saiyan.
scared no more. And then he just goes off. Yeah.
Yeah. So you find out that the guy that was helping her, the nurse guy that looks evil from the beginning, he's the one that killed everybody that she thought she killed, and she blocked it out and all this stuff. But you have they show the fight that happened between them, which is I thought was kind of cool, where she basically he was gonna still help her out, and he was just like, "We're gonna escape this," but he killed all the other superpower kids, everybody in the government place, and then she leaves and she sees it's him, and he tries to have his whole discussion about spiders and how they're cool, and then it goes back to his backstory. So when you see Robert England's story, that's his father, and the son was him, and he killed the mother, killed the sister, and basically he didn't know his powers, like his limits when he was a kid, so he passed out before he could kill his dad. And then they blamed his dad for the murder, and he was like, "Yeah, that's what I wanted anyway." But he said, "When I woke up from the coma, the government had him, and then from his blood, I guess, or his whatever, they created more of him. So he was number one of the test subjects, and all the other kids were, you know, had something to do with him. But I guess he was the
Yeah.
strongest, and they tried to keep him on a leash. And
Yeah, they try to control him. That's why it was like, the story of number one. I was like, once I heard that, I was like, shit. I was like,
but
the number one is always that super crazy strong shit.
yeah, and then him and Elle have a fight at the end, and you realize that he was going to do the same thing to Elle after they started fighting. And it looked like her arms were about to break and everything, and then she just went Super Saiyan, basically destroyed him in a way, but created the first big gate from the first season that was in the I guess the hospital.
See, that's the thing that I'm wondering. Like maybe when we get the next ones, that's my question mark. Is like, all right, the way she killed him, I guess you could say, like I don't know what the hell. Like it looked like she took the atom out of him. Like we have atoms. It's like the way
Yeah.
that she like his body like went away, but it opened the door. So it was like, was that already there, or did she send him to another dimension? Because you've seen like how he was flying around. He's
Yeah.
in there. That he created the upside down more to be what it is now. You know what I mean? Like I
Oh
wonder
no,
because
I
like
feel like
how did he
the
become what
upside
he
down was
became?
there.
Even
I
if
don't
it, so he was so if the upside down was there, he just molded himself into this monster.
It looked like it. 'Cause
I
I don't
mean, the
know,
lightning
like
was hitting him. Like he was definitely going to turn into Thor or something. But
reading. Yeah, it looked like it. Reading comic books, sometimes you gotta just look the other way when it comes to like explaining in every detail, like how the fuck did that happen? It's like no, it just happened. He got struck by lightning up the in the upside down, and he got powers. Like just
I
accept
was like,
it.
my man got burnt up and was just like, now I know how to control all of this. Like, what the fuck?
It's like it doesn't hurt no more. I'm gonna
Yeah,
fuck shit up.
because
But
like
no,
that's what I was saying. Like, because he has like the thing, like he has the vines that they were talking about that connect.
yeah,
That is like, so he knows like there has like there's at least that one little detail of the upside down that I'm still like kind of wanting. Like, it's the
yeah. What the
how,
fuck is it?
why? Yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
Mhm.
Why? Why is it
Because
there?
like even when they were there with the Nancy scene, like when Nancy's like going to get her gun, and they were
Yeah,
what 3 years behind. So it was like, why were they such? Why was there a time loop from when she was there to now? Like when I think before in the previous seasons, it wasn't that big of a time loop like that. So yeah, that shit is weird. But freaking the hell was I gonna say? Besides that, like with that time loop shit. Damn, I'm drawing a blank now. Um, fucking. Let's start talking about Obi Wan Kenobi. Keep fucking. But actually, no, we gotta finish the. What the fuck?
sorry about that.
It's alright because I was just looking at my phone and I'm like, what the hell is all of this shit?
uh, no, sorry, that might have been an emergency. But what was I
Mm,
saying? No, what we were talking about the upside down. Oh yeah, so it's kind of I want an explanation too, but I want to know if they're doing any more seasons, or if this is it. Like
man,
that's
nah, this
gonna
is
be
it. They already done. They
they
said this
already
is it.
done.
That's why they broke it down to two.
Damn.
It's supposed to be volume one and volume one. That's it. Because even the kids said they were done. They were like they outgrew it. They're older now. like
Yeah, until none
like
of
if
that comes
anything, there'll
out.
be a spinoff in a couple of years.
No, I don't
Yeah.
want to spin off. But no, I think like I agree with you. Like, what the hell is it? Because I still never really explained it.
Mm.
But I'm just enjoying it for what it is for now. Uh, I don't know. I just feel like maybe they'll do because if you're right about the last episode being like 2 hours long, maybe they have to do something because we're gonna get a showdown between L and the main guy because that's how it is. And
Mm.
I think L, if this is the last season, L's gonna die, or
Mm.
she's gonna become like the new master of the Upside Down or something.
She's gonna
It's
be
gonna
the
be something
super
stupid
villain.
like that. Yeah.
I was thinking she was gonna be actually the villain on the low. Like I was like, maybe this is like some plot twist that she was the villain. But then when they got to that, I was like, oh shit, she's not the
Yeah,
villain.
I was thinking that too, because it really had Carrie vibes.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, oh man, if they make her the villain, because I was just like, oh, she's getting bullied, and I was just thinking Carrie would have like, they're all gonna laugh at you, like the mother, they're all gonna laugh at you. Like I was just
Um,
like, oh shit, but I don't know.
but
You never know. She might become the next villain, but I think she's gonna sacrifice herself.
but there's
I
gonna
think
definitely be what?
I think
No, go-
Harper's gonna be good. I think everyone else is gonna be good. I thought the redheaded chick for a moment was gonna die, and I was like, "Damn, they're gonna kill her off." But yeah, that was a
I just
good one.
know from what I've seen on the whatever, like I guess the preview or the trailer for the next half. The little bit that I remember because I only watched it once was that it's definitely about to be turned up because the way they kind of hinting at it, there's gonna be multiple gates, so that's gonna be multiple creatures coming through the gates, and they tease the mind flare in one of
Yeah,
the trailer. So I was like, all right, so they're gonna have the mind flare this. So that means you're definitely gonna get probably the dogs or something. Like,
yeah,
because if you don't use the Demogorgon because you already used it in the scenario with the Russians, which they probably already do have an actual Demogorgon, that call it, that you can use at least the dogs, and the dogs will be more realistic in the aspect of like a fight scenes with the cops and shooting at them and shit.
yeah,
So like little things like that. Like I was trying to think of like action scenes that at least for those two, because it's gonna be long episodes.
yeah,
Like I would hope that there would be a little bit more action scenes and like you have like everybody fighting off a few monsters. Fuck it, like you
yeah.
know.
I wonder if they're
Uh,
gonna do it like they're not gonna hide it anymore, and this is what's going on from now on. Like,
mm,
because you know how they keep making they keep making excuses of what happened. Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
this never happened. It was a fire. This never
Mm,
happened. Like, I think they should just make it like this is the way of the world now. Like it's bleeding in, and we're gonna have to fight them.
that would
Because
be
then
actually
you can make a that's when you can make a real spin-off like 10 years down the road, and it's or more than 10 years now, but say it's present time, and you have people fighting these demigorgon creatures and all that shit still.
you should just turn into the Racha or Richa or whatever the fuck that thing
Yeah.
is called.
The Russian. That shit is
It's just wake up like, oh no, this demon's outside. I just have to go get something to drink. So let me bring my sword. Like,
Don't act like that
uh,
won't be a good show though. It'll be like the
no,
most.
it would. I mean, I made jokes for the time that it's like I seen a meme that there was like going to work as an essential worker in 2020, and it's like a guy in like a hazmat suit with a fucking auto shooting like a giant fly, and I was like, yeah, that would actually have been a lot more fun than what it was. Like, I don't know, driving mad quick shooting at monsters. Like I gotta go do nothing but work. I gotta work this 8-hour shift. Like,
That would suck. How are you gonna work an 8-hour shift fighting monsters? That shit is fucking crazy.
freaking
Lord have
horrible.
mercy.
You know
So
what's the funny shit though about that? Like about the episodes though, like do it because I was like, I was like, I'm just waiting for one thing to happen. I was like, there's been mad spiders. I was like, we just need one giant spider, and it would probably make Nick not watch
yeah,
it.
I'm done. We ended it good. All right. I was
Because
surprised he wasn't more spidery. Like the tentacles should have been like spider legs.
that would have been interesting. But I mean, he could still evolve. Like, I mean,
He could. He
the
could. Or
guy is
like you
freaking
said,
breaking bones
there's
and
gonna be a
ripping
giant
eyeballs
black
out.
widow spider demigorgon thing at the end.
Listen,
How do we
if you're
kill
gonna
it?
keep paying, they're gonna keep paying homages to 80 shit that worked out. Listen, the It Spider wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like,
Yeah,
it worked for what it did when it
yeah,
needed to at that time. Like that worked.
yeah.
Nothing
That
in
would be
this
funny
movie
if he
works.
takes
But
the villain starts taking other people's sayings like we all float down here, and they start going all out, just taking all everybody's
listen,
shit.
they're so close to it with so many things. Like that's why I've been dusting reference like Nightmare on Elm Street and all of that. It's like, yo, y'all know what y'all doing. Like you know what you're doing. For anybody who's smart enough that knows those movies and old movies like that, you're
Yeah,
gonna catch those quick references. You're gonna is right there. Like they're doing it on purpose. They're like, hey, look
yeah.
at like we're making it
I
easy for us.
They even mentioned Michael Myers in the show.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, no, no. They
It's,
mentioned a
it,
lot of shit in there. That's what makes it awesome. As long as they don't mention Willow, I'm good. So
how do you hate Willow? I
I've
don't even care.
always hated Willow. I hated Willow since I was a little kid. No lie. Like I think it scared me when I was a kid, so I just grew up hating it.
That didn't scare that scared you, but Leprechaun didn't.
No, no, no. Willow was creepy as fuck.
Oh shit!
I
It was an
didn't understand
accident.
the concept of little people when I was a kid. All right, grown adults shouldn't be my height.
Oh shit!
But
What do you
all right,
want to
so
happen in the next 2 episodes?
what do I want to happen in the next? I want a heart-stopping death because Hopper. I knew Hopper wasn't dead, even when that all thing happened. I was like, they ain't killing Hopper off before the like another season. That wouldn't make no sense.
Yeah.
So I need like a surprising death.
What would be the most
Another
surprising to you?
most surprising. Damn, it's fucked up because I left. I was gonna be like, I was gonna be like Lucas because it would make no sense to kill him off.
Yeah. And then everyone would be like, "We're doing the '80s thing. The black guy has to die."
'Cause I was like, I would be mad. I'd be like, damn, you just killed the black kid for no reason. But the most surprising would be honestly Dustin.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been
I
Steve.
think that would be so. If they did that,
Mhm.
it'll probably go down as the best show ever because
Yeah.
one, it's so unsuspecting, and two, you made Dustin so likable and so funny that
Mhm.
if that were to happen, it would be like, holy shit.
That's the killer right there. Like maybe that, but it's like that would be the thing. But you already know what's gonna be the main thing. It's going to be either Mike or it's gonna be Hopper that get killed, and that's gonna be what pushes 11 over the top for her to be finally strong enough.
I agree. I think that's what they're going to do, but she could still do that with Dustin. And I'm telling you,
No, you could. I agree. 100%. But I think the simple aspect is those two. The creative aspect of like a shock for everybody and like all right, it's an aspect to have everybody be like, fucking kill that thing. Like, yeah, that's a Dustin death. Dustin dying will have everybody that's watching it be like, yeah, we're happy that she killed. Like, she could freaking cut the head off and put him on fire, do multiple things, and people will be happy as fuck. Like, honestly,
I'm gonna label this podcast Stranger Things and Obi Wan review. Should Dustin die? Wow, it's gonna get mad hits. But even though we talked for a fucking hour already, no one's gonna wait to the end.
You got fast forward. If you go up to an hour and 6 minutes, you're hear the end of it, but you go back a little bit and it's right there. Right there. You just gotta really look.
Yeah, I think if they do that, they're good. They have to do that because I feel like that'll be the most heartbreaking. Because if you think about it too, it makes the most sense. He's the one. He's the only child. He doesn't have brothers and sisters, so he doesn't have like a big family. He only has his mom. He doesn't have his father either.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, it'll be the most heartbreaking because of all that.
Basically,
I don't know.
It'll be the end. There's gonna be a lot of things, son. Those because I didn't even get into the aspect. Like, you can think about like what's gonna happen when they actually all get back together, and then they have to go back into the awkwardness of Nancy having a thing for two guys that be literally trying to save her life all the time. So like, there's a lot of things.
Like, I don't even feel the same, man. I'm gonna go and his friend, the high guy, was just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Nah, the high dude is pretty funny. Like, there's a few times I didn't care, but then there was a couple of times I was like, all right, he was cool, little funny dude. His little funny.
With the
golf chick,
babysitter,
the sister, I guess you could say. Yeah, I guess that was his sister. That was funny though. I ain't gonna lie, because they walked outside and they're playing the pass the Dutchy shit, and I was like, that's weak. Like, that would be some shit I'd be doing. Like, I don't got nothing to do with this. I'll be in the band.
Oh man,
shoot.
I don't know. Now I'm gonna be hoping for Dustin's death.
That's messed up, man. We just put that in the world out there. Killed off our character. Like, that's my guy too. Like, he's my favorite one just because like he hits the references perfectly, and like he's just mad funny. Like, he's the sarcastic funny, and then all his references are on point, like all the time. Like,
he's like the best caricature of a nerd at that time, like just referencing every little thing and the Shire and all that. And when he was just like, I feel like I'm in Mordor.
So much good nerdy shit in there.
I want to rewatch it again.
I'm definitely watching it after all of this. Like the Met game's almost over. It's like I'm gonna probably put it on my laptop and I'm gonna play like SmackDown or something like. Cause I want to play like a little bit of video games and shit, but I definitely got to watch it again. Well, the other thing that I'm definitely got to rewatch because I got to watch the second episode again because I hate watching it. I hate watching things in the dark when it's daytime because I have horrible light in my room, so I can't really get a good look at it. But it's Obi Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, we're about to get into this right now.
One, if I, because I'm probably gonna be completely wrong about this, and it was probably skippable. But was it me, or did they really make us get a whole flashback of everything up to the point?
Yes.
Or was that skippable? Like,
well, no, that was just the beginning. I think that was skippable.
I don't know if that was skippable or not. Yeah,
it was just a recap of all the original movies. It was just a recap of what happened. That's it.
I was kind of hoping it wasn't skippable because I thought that was a cool little way of being like just a refresher for some people that aren't like diehard, like memorized it, and then the people that just casuals, like you'll be like, look, you probably didn't see maybe episode 2 or whatever, like you get to see everything that you didn't probably see because you probably didn't watch all the movies.
Yeah,
you might have been a person that just started watching the franchise, So I thought that was actually a cool little.
So did I. I watched it because I was just like, maybe something I missed. Maybe there's something I missed.
Like I really liked that. I was like, all right, cool. Y'all got me ready to go. So, damn, I don't even remember how this damn thing opened up. Besides, like that part stood out to me so much that I can't remember what happened.
No, I think it opened up with Obi-Wan already in the desert. Like he was in the factory. And he was doing his thing, and he went back to his cave, and he made the fucking food, and then he was just looking at Luke Skywalker.
Oh yeah, because they went through the whole thing.
Yeah, and then you just see him. I think it was the same process. He goes back to work. He helped the guy out, and he stole some shit, and then it goes right to the Inquisitors. And they're looking for a Jedi, and he's there. And then I guess there was another Jedi there. And they
Hunt Jedi.
Yeah, that's kind of how it started out. But to me, man, I'm trying to think of what I thought about both. I'm not upset about it. The only thing that doesn't make sense to me, because it goes to episode 2. I guess we'll talk about that later. But there's something in that episode that doesn't make sense to me. And I don't like how the Grand Inquisitor looks. Okay. Like, I don't know why. Like, because his head's supposed to be a little bit more elongated. Like, he doesn't look exactly. He looks kind of like shitty in a way, but it's like, all right, what are you going to do? They can't be perfect all the time. No, but I think both of the episodes are good. I still want more. I want to see where they're going. I want to see if they're going to show more Jedi that are out in the world.
I think so.
Yeah.
They might make a few, like, it's going to be a slow little build. Because honestly, like, the trailer shit that I sent you today on the phone, the video game, and shit like that, like, throughout the last, like, 2 days, I literally been going on my phone and keep finding new Star Wars news. Okay. So they keep dropping random ass things. So and like the fact like the thing with like Ahsoka that they're gonna have people from Rebels being in it.
Yeah.
Like that alone is already like, they're gonna add shit. Like I think it's just a harder aspect because of the fact that I think this is only a 6-episode series. It's supposed to be quick. Yeah. So I don't know if they have plans to do more or it's just quick.
I think they're still feeling it out because I feel like The Mandalorian was so good, and then people are iffy about Boba Fett. Like a lot of people didn't like it, and then they're trying out Obi-Wan, and then they're trying to see if this works because I know Andor is supposed to be another one. So that was weird that they put Andor in there, but
that's because honestly, that one I've started to realize it from listening to other Star Wars people, like their fandom. And there's a a big group of people out there that really like Rogue One. Like
Yeah.
they really think Rogue One is probably the last good Star Wars movie.
I gotta rewatch it.
And
But
I didn't hate, honestly, I didn't hate Rogue One. I think maybe that doesn't make me watch it as much is because I'm a fan of the whole Force aspect of it.
yeah,
But
me
Rogue
too.
One wasn't a bad movie. I didn't think Rogue One was a bad movie.
I don't think so either, but I think I agree with you. Like, because when I think of Star Wars, I'm thinking like Jedi or the Force or Sith or something.
Yeah,
And to me, the fucking scene that stood out the best was fucking Darth Vader
yeah,
at
the
the
last,
end.
yeah.
Like I was like, damn,
That was
that's
hands
what I
down the
want to
best.
see.
But that's what maybe that is for those people that are like really into like the novel aspect, like the real detail, but it's like not aspect, but they're into the whole rebel rogue aspect, like because that's
Yeah,
what it is. Like there is stories out there for that. Like that's why they're doing the Andor shit or
yeah.
whatever they're called
Well, I
and
think
all that.
see, because even Mandalorian didn't have a lot to do with Jedi, but I feel like that was such a great fucking show.
But Mandalorian, I was gonna say Mandalorian lore, like that aspect is a cool character. Like there's a character to him that is dope. Like we like just looking at his armor, like he was cool. Like he's a
Yeah,
character. Like these are just fucking people. It's like you want us to be invested into regular humans that are rebelling and they're trying to
yeah,
fight the cool ass bad guys that we kind of like because they have stormtroopers and fucking inquisitors and shit like that. So it's
yeah,
like that's what makes it like it's like the good guys they can only shoot guns, so they're boring. Like, and then you see the bad guys are fucking badass. So it's kind of
hell
like
yeah.
that's what I think makes it a little hard too.
So I feel like if you had like the first gray Jedi on camera,
Mm.
what they call gray Jedi, even though I've been looking shit up in the past, in the stories and the books and stuff like that, gray Jedi were the weakest out of like Sith or Jedi because they weren't particularly strong in either one
Mm.
in the Force. They just knew a little bit about both. But now they're making it seem like nah, like gray Jedi's are where it's at. And then at the same time, I was listening to something like there's no such thing as a gray Jedi. It's either this or that. And I was just like, come on, man. Like, just give something like a little bit more to it. Like, I want to see it. Like, if Andor has like I don't know, like a young, it doesn't have to be a super strong Jedi. Like somebody with a lightsaber ish weapon that just kicks ass. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Well, they're probably depending on what it is. About the first 3 episodes. One is gonna give you that aspect of where the story's going, and then from there you can know if you're gonna probably run into a Jedi or something.
Yeah.
Because they freaking with Obi Wan. I mean, I'm sitting here watching Obi Wan with nothing but anticipation for Darth Vader. Like I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for that fight. I'm like, you know what I want. Give me what I want. Like that's what I want. God damn it.
So just a quick
Like
rundown of the 2 episodes. Basically,
yeah.
they show what do you call it? Obi-Wan and Tatooine looking over Luke, and then they show Leia as a kid on the other planet and how she's like a little bit rebellious. She wants to do her own thing, but she's growing up with the other guy. And she gets stolen from some people, right? Now, the Inquisitors, they're looking for the Jedis because their whole goal is to kill off all the Jedi that didn't die in Order 66. So they go to Tatooine first, and they don't know that Obi-Wan's there, but there was like this black lady, I forgot who her character is supposed to be, and she's looking for Obi-Wan in particular. I'm thinking she's going to be a character that was probably like a youngling that
Mm-hmm.
survived Order 66, and Obi-Wan left her there. So she probably has some like thing like F you Obi-Wan, but it makes
Yeah.
it seem like she wants Obi-Wan for Vader to get on Vader's good side. The other Inquisitors are like, yo, chill out. we have a job to do, so he might not even be here. Like, what are you doing? So she's having a beef with the other Inquisitors, but she's very hot headed. It seems like um, Obi-Wan doesn't get along with the uncle of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
Like, basically, the uncle's just like, "Yo, leave us alone. We don't need you here." And he's starting more trouble. And then once Leia gets stolen, the guy that's raising her goes to Obi-Wan and says, "Listen, you need to find her." But Obi-Wan's like, I guess he hasn't been practicing and he's old and tattered, so he doesn't really want to do Jedi shit anymore. But they said, like, listen, I think Obi-Wan was telling him, like, I'm watching over Luke. I'm not going to go to another planet and try to save her. And it was like, you're supposed to be looking after both of them. Like, do your shit. You say you're going to protect both of them, asshole. So,
it's twins,
yeah.
damn it.
Yeah. So he goes to the other planet, finds Leia, tries to save her. He's fighting all these other people that are like, he's on a planet with all these people that are like bounty hunters. So one of the Inquisitors says that Obi-Wan's here with Leia. You need to find him and kill him and get the girl, whatever. And or not kill him. They want him alive, but whatever. So he doesn't really have a big fight, right? He gets his balls, he gets his lightsaber, but he never starts it yet. I think they're gonna wait until a couple episodes down.
Yeah,
He actually
before we
starts
really
using
see
his
him go
lightsaber.
off with the lightsaber, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because that's why they made it when the part where he saves Leia from falling, like, he didn't automatically have the force, like, he had to really, like, get himself back into that aspect when he did it and shit.
And then
Because, like, that's pretty much what it is. Like, it's like a slow build to him coming back. Because I guess it's supposed to be, like, but damn, well, when Order 66 and all that happened, so it has to be at least Leia's probably 4 or 5.
yeah.
How old did Leia was?
I think it was 5. No, 10. It was 10.
10. Leia was 10? Holy shit.
Yeah.
So it's been like at least 10 years then.
Yeah.
So,
the Black Lady Inquisitor stabs the Grand Inquisitor because the Grand Inquisitor's like, I'll get him. Like, you get the hell out of here. I'll get him. And stabs him with the lightsaber. And then basically tell Obi-Wan that Anakin's still alive. Because Obi-Wan at this point doesn't know that Anakin lived and is Darth Vader. So now at the end of that episode, that was episode 2, he starts thinking back, and then you see the first little things of Vader. Like, he's in his back the tank, and he's healing.
yeah.
You get to see his eyes. So that was like the little first kind of clue. With this season, though, I'm hoping that even though it's supposed to be a short season, man, if it's only going to be one, you have to have Maul come back. Because Maul's looking for him, and then Rebels, that's where Maul dies. Like, he fights Obi-Wan and dies. But I don't know how far from Rebels is this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they don't really give it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I gotta do more research on that. But I'm pretty sure Ahsoka's gonna show up. I'm pretty sure Maul is gonna show up. If they do another season, he'll probably be in season 2. And I know they're gonna have at least one fight with him and Vader.
They have to. They have to have them interact. Like, it just is a must. Like, it will help so much for later on in the future when people watch, like, whatchamacallit, Star Wars episode 4, when they have their first interaction there. It's like, nah, but you could go look back and see when they first interacted when he was fully Vader and not, like, Anakin and shit, which would be cool.
Yeah.
And, like, I want to see Vader all chromed out in 2020 4K.
I know, right?
Like,
and I want him, since he's younger, I want him to be a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And I need him to be like Rogue One, where he is just demolishing everything in his way. I need that Vader.
Like, that's the hope. Like, it's just more or less like the Obi-Wan Kenobi is like, nah, this is solid. Like, I'm already at that point where it's like, I know it's gonna be good. It's just like, I want to know where you're putting, what the story's gonna be. Because that's how I felt about, like, Boba Fett. Like, I knew I was gonna enjoy Boba Fett because I enjoyed Mandalorian. I just wanted to know what was the story, and I was like, oh, all right, this makes sense. It's like a story of how he went through his shit and his upcoming now mixed together. The people that don't like it are just nitpicky as fuck.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I'm trying to remember the reasons why I didn't like Boba Fett. It really was bullshit. It was just kind of like,
it wasn't anything crazy. Like it was just simple. Like that's why I wasn't going into it thinking like Mandalorian, like oh, it's gonna have like a continue. No, this is a spin off of Mandalorian, so we could pay homage to this character that everybody really loved. That's the whole reason why Mandalorian is successful, is because
yeah,
everybody wanted that armor and the whole Boba Fett aspect.
yeah,
So yeah, pay homage, cool, good shit. Those fans from back then, 1970s, all those people, they loved it. Why? Because they got to watch the guy who pretty much really didn't do much in those in two movies, and is probably one of the biggest characters in movies ever.
yeah.
Like,
Really weirdly, yes.
yes,
He really didn't do shit. And then
it's still one of the biggest characters ever.
what was I gonna say? Fuck. I was gonna Boba Fett, Mandalorian. Damn it! I had something on my goddamn mind, and I totally lost it.
Yeah,
Fuck.
freaking. I was trying to. What else happened in there? Like you said, they killed the person. They didn't really give a lot of hints towards anything yet. To like what would be in the next, at least in episode 3
Yeah, they
for the
didn't get
season.
nothing.
Yeah, they didn't really give, so it's like kind of hard to really try to think like what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah. But I'm cool with that. I'm
Mm.
cool with that. Just surprise me. Like I said, I don't think I'm gonna see Maul, but in this season. But give me Maul sometime. Make another season. Let me get Maul because I need to see Maul again.
They,
And,
I see now. This is why I got to rewatch it. I'm trying to remember. He did. He lost Leia at the end of episode 2.
no,
No, he still has her.
no, he went on the machine. The thing. He has her. He's on the spaceship with her now.
Okay, so he does have it. I was trying to remember. I was like, did they say? I was because that whole ending. I don't remember. I have to rewatch it.
And this is the only thing because at first I was like, "Yo, this is not how the Grand Inquisitor dies."
Mm.
But then I was listening to something that kind of like made me think like, "Duh." But someone went on, I guess, YouTube or some shit, and it was just like, why do people think that he died when Darth Maul got chopped in half and still came back, and what do you call it? Boba Fett got eaten by the Sarlacc or whatever, and he still came back. Like, why do you think one stab is gonna kill this guy? Like, relax. And I was like, yo, you're right. I was just like, why do I think they're retconning shit?
The
But
guy
the
literally stood there with a spinning lightsaber and killed someone. Like,
yeah.
I was like, God damn.
But
But now I like the Inquisitor aspect. Like, I mean, I haven't really finished Rebels. Like, it's one of those shows that if I had more time to sit there and really watch all of it,
to be
I
honest,
would.
I
Because,
think
like,
Rebels sucked except for the last season. That's my opinion.
I
didn't
just
like
want to
it.
watch. Like, the thing is that I get into like the character. Like, I want to know more about the Inquisitor, so I know they're more in Rebels. So that's what I will watch,
Yeah,
so I could get whatever breakdown that they have of it. Like, and then I have basic video game shit, but that's not easy, because I actually have to beat the game and play the game.
yeah.
They just don't tell me the story. I had to actually progress. like, I had to actually do things.
The only thing that I think is a retcon is Obi-Wan saving Leia. Leia's
Mhm.
old enough to remember him, so why in the original movies don't she remember him?
Yeah, that's well. He could have been like, "Ha, bitch, you don't remember."
You're dumb. Don't remember me.
Got to make this mission easier.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like that to me was kind of like, damn. I don't think they thought that one through, but maybe they did. Maybe something's gonna happen.
I mean, yeah, there's probably that thing that they're gonna be like, "Oh, like we're gonna be like, oh shit, that connects to something in the movie," and then be like, "Fuck it."
Maybe.
Like, what does that be? Watch like Leia fall and hit her head, and she just forgets
I
shit.
know that would be the. I'll be like, for real, she got amnesia now. You stupid. Like the easiest way to like, oh, memory loss. Okay.
No, she tripped. Shit happens.
I really can't believe they put Flea from what's that group? Red Hot Chili Peppers inside the thing.
You know what's funny is that I was seeing, and I was like, "Yo, why does he look so familiar?"
Mhm.
And I was like, wow. But because he looked different to me. Because
Yeah.
I remember how he looks, but I don't like. He's very weird. But yeah, that shit was cool. But it was the same thing. Like this, what is the comedy guy, the Indian comedy guy? I was
Yeah.
like, now he's like you know he signed that big Marvel Disney contract because he on
Yeah.
everything now.
Yeah, he's in the Turtles and he's in this. I thought he was gonna be Ezra or something like that from Rebels.
Which would have been cool because he looks like he would have looked like a good version of it.
Yeah, but I think at this time Ezra's like a kid, so
Mm.
I'm just trying to figure out the timeline. That's all.
Yeah, they made sure nobody knows that shit because they didn't really give a lot of detail. Like, they're just like, nah, y'all know Obi Wan alive. He made it through this shit. Tatooine, go.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it was like, yo, my god, like for the last I don't know how many seasons, I've been looking at sand. Like I'm about to be Anakin. Like, fucking hey sand, god damn it. You know, Tatooine every fucking episode.
Fucking shit, man. No, but I can't wait for it because I that big scene that they're gonna have. I just hope they don't wait till the end. I hope that he actually fights Inquisitors, kills a few, does some damage. Because I want to see more lightsaber scenes.
He definitely has to kill an Inquisitor. Has to do all of that. They can't slow that up. Like, because this is an aspect like when I think about like, because they're gonna do when they do Ahsoka. Like, how they Ahsoka's gonna be the same shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna start off slow and then they'll get into it. But Ahsoka, at least you have a chance for season 2, so then you can get into a lot more action in season 2.
Did you get excited when you saw the stormtrooper asking for money and he was wearing blue? For a millisecond, I thought that was going to be Rex.
I did.
Oh
I was like, oh, look at that. Like, honestly, I thought it was the Bad Batch aspect. And then I was like, oh, it's not. I was like, I was like, maybe that was just a tease. Maybe they'll bring it in like Ahsoka or something.
Yeah.
But I was like,
cool.
I was like, it'd be cool. Like, that would be a cool little like flip to
Yeah.
bring them to the live action and shit.
Yeah.
And it would make me more invested in the bang bang shoot 'em up aspect of Star Wars.
Yep.
Like,
And the funny thing is too, that guy is going to be rich for life just for playing that one character.
like, what are you? Like, I'm 1,000 characters.
I'm 1,000 of the same characters.
Yep.
Holy shit. Nah, that's dope though.
Sure.
Man. All right. We'll close this off. And damn, this was a good fucking weekend for watching shit.
Yeah, next week is gonna. What? When is the next Obi-Wan? Is it every Friday now?
I think so, yeah. It's every Friday. So we get
That's
another.
the one shit. I was like, damn, y'all got me conditioned to Wednesdays, and now I'm back to Fridays. Like,
Yeah.
mess
So
me
we'll
up.
probably have to watch it and then do the podcast right after.
Yeah. But no, I can't wait. Like, definitely can't wait for the next episode. That's what I'm looking forward to this week. Is the Obi-Wan. And I think in 2 weeks, I'm gonna say 2 to 3 weeks is the Black Phone. If that's what it's called.
I want to see that. I really want to see that.
No, I'm definitely going to see it. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to not go see it by myself at night, but that's what that's like. But that's what it's seeming like it's gonna end up being.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm definitely planning on seeing that.
Yeah, I gotta watch that shit because that shit is good. That looks good from the trailer.
Mm.
Shit. All right, people. Like, follow, subscribe, and we'll try to keep doing this. We'll come back at you next Friday with a Obi-Wan update,
Yes.
and we'll see how that episode goes.
Follow, subscribe, make me rich.
Make you rich. You weak-minded mother.
Peace.